Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. May all be happy. May all be free from diseases. May all see only goodness everywhere. May no one suffer from any misery. May there be peace, abiding peace everywhere by God's grace. Good evening, friends. The subject of my talk this evening is, what is Maya? Well, most of you may know or may not know that Hinduism is the oldest living faith in the world. And this word Maya has been used in Hinduism. Then I was amazed to see that this word Maya is in other languages of the world as well, but in a distorted form, meaning more or less the same thing. That means magic. Magic. I'll come to that later. There was a very famous speaker named Bipin Chandra Pal. He was educated in British schools and colleges and universities. He went to England, and as he was renowned as a lecturer, when he was visiting England, one university asked him to give a talk there. And the students said that they would like to ask that speaker on which subject he has to speak. And when Bipin Chandra Pal entered the lecture hall, there on the board, the subject you could see written. The subject was nothing. Nothing was the subject. So the students wanted to try a joke on this speaker who had come from India, I think. But Bipin Chandra Pal was undaunted. Most of the people in England were British, they were Christians. And so he started his talk with the first sentence of the Bible. Before creation there was nothing. Then he explained what the nothing meant. He must have said that there was God, of course, must have been there, created. Otherwise, who created this world? Anyway, so before creation there was no time, no space and no causation. This idea is accepted by the physicists also. And those who believe in the Big Bang theory, according to them, before the Big Bang, there was no time, no space. Time, space and causation were not there. Only after the Big Bang that happened. And Hinduism says that Creator, who was there before creation, he was beyond time, space and causation. Being beyond time, that Creator was eternity. Being beyond space, the Creator was infinity. And also that Creator was eternal consciousness. And the Creator was one and the only one. Ekameva advitiyam. There was no two there, only oneness. And that was divinity. And also God was non-doer and non-enjoyer. In Sanskrit, akarta and abhokta. Because action can take place only in time, space and causation. This being the case, God is the non-doer and non-enjoyer. That being the case, we may ask, how God could have created this world? The answer is that this world He created with His power of magic or Maya. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad of Hinduism says, Indra Mayabhi Pururupa Yate. That is, God with the help of His magic becomes this manifold universe. So Maya is mentioned in that ancient scripture Rig Veda. Rig Veda, which is many thousand years old. And also Atharva Veda of Hinduism. In Rig Veda there is a hymn. It is called Nasadya Sukta. Sukta means hymn. It starts with the word Nasat. That means what is existence was not there. What is non-existence was also not there. That's how it starts. And then it goes on describing how this world evolved by the Creator. In that Nasadya Sukta, which is often translated into English as the creation hymn, the 129th verse of that hymn says, that is the last verse, Yo Ishyadhaksha Paramebhyo Vant Soanga Veda Yadivana Veda. Meaning is, the Creator may or may not know that the world has been created. Why will the Creator not know that this world has been created? Creator must know it. That's what our understanding is, our expectation is. But the Creator created this world with His power of magic, Maya. So, Creator is a mass hypnotist. He hypnotizes all the beings around Him. And then says to them, look at this world. And they all will see that world. It is as good as being a mass hypnotist. Had I been a mass hypnotist and had I been surrounded by you all, then to show my power of hypnosis, I hypnotize you all and then say, look at this tiger sitting at near my feet. And you all will be seeing that because you are hypnotized. But I am the hypnotist. Will I see that tiger? No, I will not see that tiger. From my point of view, there is no tiger. But from the point of view of those who are under the sway of my magical power, there is a tiger. That's why you see, so God may or may not know that this world exists. That is what we read in the Nasadya Sukta in the Rig Veda. Because the hypnotist does not see the tiger created by his power of hypnotism. And also in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, which is also several hundred years old, in Hinduism, there is the statement, Mayang tu prakriting vidyat mainantu maheshwaram. That means this Maya, this magical power of God, that is this mother nature. That's what it is. And who has exercised this Maya? That is God, the Creator. So the mother nature is the creation of the Creator. And mother nature is Maya. And Hinduism is a religion where all questions can be asked. The word blasphemy is not there. So this question has been asked, what is Maya? And they have given the answer. Maya is something which is inexplicable. It cannot be said that it does exist, nor can it be said it does not exist. And I have often told this story of John, who was sitting on the front porch of his house, and then on the street one person killed another person, and John saw that. And immediately after that, police came and caught the murderer and said to John, you saw this murderer kill that man. So you have to have a sole witness in the court. And John had to say, yes, I will do that. Then at night when John went to his bedroom, a phone call came and said, I am John's friend. If you, in the court of law, if you say that John is the murderer, then you will be killed by us. So then John, in the court, if you say that that person killed our friend, then he will also be killed by us. So John heard that and he got scared. So when he went to court to bear witness for the police department and government, then the judge asked him, pointing to that murderer, did you see him commit the murder? And it was very difficult for him to say that yes, he saw that murderer, because then that would mean death to him. Because the murderer's friend would kill John. So he was in a fix. He couldn't say yes, nor could he say no. Then he said to the judge, Your Honor, I can neither say yes nor can I say no. But the judge had studied logic, that law of excluded middle. There cannot be something in between yes and no. So the judge, you must be able to tell me. Then John said to the judge, Your Honor, I can prove that there are situations where he can neither say yes nor can he say no. Then the judge said, how can you prove it? He said, I can prove it by asking you a question, Your Honor. He said, all right, ask me. Then John asked the judge, Your Honor, do you still beat your wife? And the judge was in a fix. He could neither say yes nor could he say no. Had he said yes, that would be a lie. Had he said no, that would also be a lie. But to prove that he used to beat his wife and now he has ceased to do that, both would be lies. Then the judge understood the situation and let John go. This is the story. That is, there are situations where you cannot say whether it exists or it does not exist. So Maya is that way, inexplicable. From our point of view, Maya is there. From God's point of view, Maya is not there. And then about Maya also, in our scriptures, it is mentioned that there are two kinds of Maya, magic. One is Vidya Maya, the other one is Avidya Maya. Then one is Maya of knowledge, the other one is Maya of ignorance. It is Maya of knowledge, that part can help us. But Maya of ignorance will not help us. Those who are under the sway of Maya of ignorance, they suffer. Those who are under the sway of Maya of knowledge, they become free from suffering. Avidya Maya keeps us bound in Maya, and Vidya Maya makes us free from Maya. How is it? Well, you all have dreams. In the dream world in which you are, that is your creation, whether you know it or not at that time. Then suddenly, a dream tiger is about to pounce on you. Then you become scared and the dream world is gone along with the dream tiger. The dream tiger was part of your dream. That was part of that. Dream is like Maya from your point of view, magic, because it did not really exist, dream world. When the dream tiger was there, and the dream tiger helped to dissolve the dream world. That is like Vidya Maya. So Vidya Maya helps us to become free from Maya. And Avidya Maya keeps us bound in Maya. So, in this world also, you see, there are some dream takers. This world is also another dream. Yes, scriptures in Hinduism say, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Praipavaran Nibodhata. Arise, wake up, you are somnambulists. Don't go on sleepwalking. Wake up, and finding the superior ones, become free. Who are the superior ones? The superior ones are the dream tigers. And so far as this world, dream world is concerned, the dream tigers are divine incarnations. And divine incarnations are full of compassion. And for example, let us take for example Jesus. He is a divine incarnation. And he was unduly arrested by the police and handed over to the Roman judge Pilate, and brought some false allegation that he was claiming to be the king of the Jews. So when Pilate asked him, "Do you call yourself the king of the Jews?" Jesus had never done that. But he said, "You are saying so." But anyway, in any case, Jesus had to be crucified. When he was on the cross, he had to go through so much physical torture, but he had nothing but compassion for everybody. At that time, he was praying to God for the people who are responsible for his crucifixion. And you are saying, God forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Out of compassion Jesus said that. They are like a bunch of children, they have to grow up. That's what he said. Let me take another example. Sri Sharada Devi, she is a divine incarnation for this age. Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Sharada Devi, they are divine incarnations. And Sri Sharada Devi is a personification of divine compassion. She used to say, I am the mother of the good and mother of those who are not good. She is the mother of all. She has nothing but love and compassion. So, to think that God is not compassionate to us is not correct thinking. One of my friends wanted to know if God is compassionate or not. Yes, God is compassionate to those who are unselfish, selfless. It is selfishness which is condemned by divine incarnations. So Swami Vivekananda therefore used to say, unselfishness is divinity. Divinity is there in all of us, whether we know it or not. And the thought that we are embodied beings, that thought is the product of Maya. We are not that. We have to go beyond Maya. With the help of these divine incarnations, they are Vidya Maya. They are dream tigers. And once one person came to Sri Ramakrishna. He was talking about his own suffering. And Sri Ramakrishna said, no, you can go beyond suffering. You are divinity. Divinity is beyond suffering. Then he said, you know it or not, you are divinity or God. You have to know it. In other words, he quoted one of those Mahavakyas. You are divinity. Tattamasi. You are divinity. I am also divinity. Aham Brahmasmi. The soul of mine, that is also divinity. I am Atma Brahma. These are called great sentences in Hinduism. So God is compassion. God is compassion, and by seeing the Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi's life, who was a divine incarnation, we can know that compassion can take the form of a divine incarnation. So, to feel God's grace, we have to try to be unselfish. That is the teaching of these dream tigers. From selfishness comes suffering and temporary enjoyment also. But we have to go beyond both. Something is there which is beyond suffering and enjoyment. This world is also called a world of pairs of opposites. If there is darkness, there is light. If there is joy, there is sorrow. They cannot exist alone. One who knows light knows darkness, and vice versa. A born blind person does not know darkness, nor does that person know light. So there is a condition which is beyond suffering and enjoyment. That is called shanti or peace. Peace is relief from both. For example, a person is suffering from a severe headache. He is suffering, isn't it? Then he takes some painkillers. After a while his headache is gone. Is he suffering now? No, he is not suffering. His suffering is gone. But is he enjoying now? No, he is neither suffering nor enjoying. He has found relief. Relief is relief from both of them. That relief is something like shanti or peace. That's why in most of the prayers in Hinduism they aim for peace or shanti. Shanti means divinity. So God is compassion itself, and we can know it by seeing the divine incarnations, those dream tigers who are there to help us become free from this illusion that we are embodied beings and all that. We have to get rid of our ego completely. It is from ego comes suffering and so-called sense enjoyment. We have to, if there is one, the other one will be there. We have to go beyond both. That is the teaching of Hinduism. So we have to take the help of Vidya Maya to go beyond Maya. Vidya Maya is the divine incarnations. With their help we will go beyond. Jesus Christ said, even when he was on the cross, suffering immensely physically, he was praying to God, God, please forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. About those people who are responsible for his crucifixion, he was saying that. He has nothing but compassion. And he was God in human form, divine incarnation. Thank you for your patient hearing. I have answered some of your questions. Okay, good night.